Do you remember there being discussion about Austin trying to turn heel in 99 or the idea that come 2000 he might cut back and do more Hollywood stuff? This is after he's been well received on Nash Bridges as Jake Cage, I believe was the character's name. But there's even speculation in the Observer that the WWE itself might be producing its own television series with Austin in a leading role. And I guess there's a concern that in today's environment, it's more out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
We've heard a little bit of that in real life from Drew McIntyre on Busted Open last week.
That was heavy, wasn't it?
It was.
Tell me what I sent him a tweet tweet, X, whatever. I've known him since he got started. I commiserated with him on many occasions. He had some marriage issues back in the day and so forth. I sent him a tweet that I'm always here for you. And a lot of the guys that I signed, a lot of the guys that I work with, I feel that way. It's not an AEW, WWE relationship. It's JR being friends with some talents. And he always valued my opinion. And I just wanted to let him know that there's somebody out here that didn't have a dog in the hunt, that if you just want to shoot the breeze, talk, I'm available. And I'll be glad to, because maybe I can help him. Maybe I could help him become more positive and less angry. You sure as hell don't want to be angry and stressed out in this business. It doesn't work. It's a fait accompli. You're planning your demise if you do that. And he's got too much talent to let that thing ride. Don't you think, Conrad? Are you high on his work as I am?
I think Drew McIntyre has been quietly one of the MVPs of professional wrestling for the last 18 months or so. I think he probably had the feud of the year with CM Punk, which is pretty impressive considering that for most of that, Punk wasn't even able to perform. I mean, he was injured. So they managed to keep this feud not only alive, but get it bigger and bigger week after week. When one of the guys couldn't even do any physicality, like, yeah, I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan. I think he's doing his best work right now.
And I met him one time. I met him and his dad at a WWE event, a post party, a WrestleMania post party, which have had their own stories emoting from it. And he was, I had to sit down at a table with him and had a cocktail, and there's nothing unusual there. But he looks so much like his dad. His dad's a big, tall guy, good raw bone. And you can see where Drew got his size and then he created his own athleticism. But he's always been a fan. That's what impressed me. He's always been a fan. He's like a lot of guys. He could talk about the history of wrestling and do it with a very educated take. So I have a lot of respect for Drew, and I'm proud of his success. WWE's got him a good one there with him. He's reliable, he's durable, and hopefully all of his issues, if there are any, hell, I don't know. I thought they may have been working us all. If so, they got me.
Let's talk about Stone Cold in 1999. Do you remember WWE trying to kick around the idea of, hey, what if we created a television series with Austin as the star?
Yeah, we talked about it casually, but he wasn't through wrestling. He didn't want to get put on the back burner because of a potential deal in the movies or a TV series or whatever. Hey, a TV series is going to take you away full time. You might come back for one here and one there, one off there, but it takes you away full time. He wasn't ready to make that commitment. And so we didn't pursue it to any strong degree. It's just too early in his career for us to do that, we thought, and he thought more specifically, more importantly.
It's written in the Observer, Austin is under a long-term contract to the WWF at the highest dollar figure guaranteed of any performer in company history. Like with Shawn Michaels, if his career ends with an injury, the company is obligated to pay him. So it is in their best interest to get some star power value from him while he's under such a big money deal. Of course, all of this is being discussed because he's really facing some some neck challenges, some issues.
Yeah.
And it's not like this is a new thing. I mentioned that we all saw the injury happen in August of 97. And now here we are more than 2 years later. What was the straw that broke the camel's back, to the best of your recollection, that made him say, you know what, I got to stop talking about it. I got to go try to work on this. I got to try to get better.
I don't know there's one specific turning point, but when he saw the houses still doing pretty well and he saw talents that he could work with, like a Triple H, for example, improving their game and becoming stars, he wanted to be a part of that. He thought that he helped build that feeling, and he did. So we had just, I think he was trying to be counted out so many times that he just refused. He was going to work through it somehow, some way, and that was what made him so great over the long haul. It's what made him the greatest babyface main eventer in my 50 years that I ever worked with.
It's interesting because we know that just like with traditional sports, when injuries happen, it's terrible for the people who are affected negatively, but it does create an opportunity. And so in Austin's absence, we're going to see The Rock step up, and he's going to have a bigger and brighter star as a result. And you got to wonder, like, injuries, for lack of a better word, create opportunities.
Yeah.
In an alternate universe, if Austin is not hurt here, do you think The Rock still has the same ascent? Does it look any different? I mean, I know cream always rises to the crop and to the top and all that jazz, but
Yeah.
Him having pretty much a year to be the center of the WWE focus, as opposed to being positioned as, well, second fiddle, as we say here in the South. What do you think of that? Does that change anything in history?
It might have changed it a little bit. It might have slowed things down somewhat. But we were very fortunate when Steve was down and he was really unable to wrestle, to have Rock at our disposal. Rock was very blessed that Steve had his injury. Quite frankly, good timing, because it gave Rock the spotlight, and he carried it. We were very fortunate at that time. Not too many companies have two guys like that ready to go. It was a talent relations dream that when Austin went down, we had somebody ready to step in and do as well, if not better, in some people's eyes, than Steve. So, but it was good. We were fortunate. It's always good to have another star on hand. You can't get too many stars, Conrad. You know that.